Hey, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. Thanks for tuning in to The Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM. If you're interested in sponsoring my show, you can send me an email to themikewagnershow@gmail.com, or you could also donate to the podcast. Just go to the Donate Listen site, and you can also donate whatever you like. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. For those who are interested, Anchor can give you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. We've got creation tools, allows you to record and edit podcasts so it sounds great, and they'll distribute the podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere. Spotify, Apple, Google, many more. And you can make money from the podcast with no minimum listenership. So download the Anchor app for free or go to Anchor FM to get started.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. Check our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with a wonderful author from Austin, Texas. She's a graduate of the University of Texas. She's got her own photography studio and a website, Casey Chapman RossPhotography.com. It's rather lengthy, but easy to log in. And she's got a book out called True to Form, highlighting Beto O'Rourke's campaign and his journey, and also a book for kids as well, too, called I'm an Activist coloring book. We'll talk about as well, too, and she enjoys a lot of photography, and we'll talk about her great journey as well, too, and she's got a husband with 3 wonderful children, and also a founding executive member of the Austin Women's Invest to Elect. And before we get to all that, let's just give a big, deep in the heart Texas welcome to author Casey Chapman Ross on the Mike Wagner Show. Casey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Anytime. So you have a website called CaseyChapmanRossPhotography.com. You're a graduate of the University of Texas. You've got a book out called True to Form, the journey in Beto O'Rourke's campaign, and you also have a coloring book called I'm an Activist, which is especially good for kids. You've been in photography for a number of years. You're the founder and executive member of the Austin Women's Invest to Elect. And before we get into all that, tell us how you got started.
Let's see. I went to UT Art School and I did some photography there. I did a lot of photography in high school as well, and it was always a passion of mine, but I didn't have a vision for how to make a living doing it. So, after graduating, I went into some film production, some real estate sales for about 10 years, some, different career paths. And then ultimately decided I needed to explore my original passion, which was photography. And so I kind of dropped what I was doing at the time, which was real estate sales. It was going really well, but I didn't feel like I was following my passion and my heart. And so I decided to pursue photography, and it started with, just kind of typically doing family portraits and people in my network and the photography that they needed. And I grew up in a real politically active family, and I decided to try and start incorporating some of that into my work. And so I started going door to door with different candidates in early 2014. And I just got a real taste for it. I loved working with the candidates and trying to help them spread their message. I loved watching their interactions with people. And I just started shooting as many events as I could. And building my word of mouth and building a portfolio around that. And one thing has led to another, and I'm just still doing it today and focused primarily on progressive politics in Texas.
That is amazing, too. And what is the one moment that influenced you into photography? The one precise moment?
I I don't know if there was one precise moment, but when I decided to change career paths, one of my real estate clients told me that they were hosting a DNC fundraiser for then Vice President Joe Biden, and I volunteered to shoot it and to photograph it. And so I did that, and that definitely interested me more than anything I had ever done. It was a whirlwind of an experience, being swept away by Secret Service and kind of a private location, and it was just really exciting and inspiring. And I think if anything, that definitely led me in the direction of pursuing that avenue.
That is amazing too. And who are some of your favorite photographers that you enjoyed? Just being influenced by, like growing up and following, and what photographers did you admire back then?
Oh gosh, well, Pete Souza was a White House photographer for decades, and so I love following his work. And I think he may have worked in the White House back in like Reagan era. So he had a long reign there, and he's done now, but he's still making work, and I love his stuff. But as a kid, I followed a lot of old Hollywood fashion photographers like George Harrell, and I also always loved the portraits that they would show of the special guests on SNL on Saturday Night Live. I just they would always flash like black and white portrait, and I thought, you know what? I want to be that photographer someday that gets to take all those fun shots. So that's not quite how it panned out, but yeah, that always stuck out to me for some reason.
You talked about politics a great deal and working with Joe Biden and Beto O'Rourke and more as well too. If you were asked by a news agency, like say with AP or say with UPI or any of the like the major photographers like Newsweek, Time Magazine, and everything else, if they offer you a position to be a photographer, like for a press organization or magazine, newspaper, would you accept?
I would definitely consider it. I thought that going into 2019, that's what I wanted more than anything else, really. I thought, you know what, I'm going to go into 2019, and my New Year's resolution is to get more of my work published and to work with exactly who you just mentioned. I ended up, without really realizing it. Well, it's funny. I did realize it, but when he lost the election, I wasn't sure what to do with that whole body of work. And I also felt like there were so many stories that not only I had, but so many people had from having worked on that campaign and having it been so inspiring that I decided to publish the book about it. And it's funny because my goal was to be published by all of these other organizations, and at the end of the day I thought, you know what, I don't need to wait for someone else to publish me. I have the capability of doing it myself. So I chased it down and learned how to start a publishing company and do it on my own. And so now I've published 2 books, and they're out in the world, and I plan on doing a lot more in 2020. But yes, back to your original point, I would love to share more work with the world in that way, and I would definitely consider that type of work for sure.
That'd be fantastic. And we'll talk about your first book, Beto O'Rourke's Campaign True to Form. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960 or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, Stitcher, Deezer, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. You can also play the Mike Wagner Show on your iPhone, smartphone, Android, or Alexa, and say, Alexa, play the Mike Wagner Show. Also, listen on your computer or tablet as well. We're here with author Casey Chapman Ross from Austin, Texas, graduate of University of Texas. She's got a website called CaseyChapmanRossPhotography.com. We talked about a little bit about her photography career and how she got started and everything else. We'll talk about her first book called True to Form, which is shining a light on Beto O'Rourke's campaign journey from a well-liked but not well-known congressman from El Paso to a national political figure. Tell us how you got started with the book and how'd you first meet Beto O'Rourke?
I met Beto. He announced his candidacy, I believe it was in April of 2017. And I went, no, let's see, that was August that I first met him. He announced in April. I first met him in August. He did a rally at Schultz's Beer Garden here in Austin. It's a real popular kind of Democratic headquarters. And I met him at that rally and did a ride along with him as he went from Schultz's to a private fundraiser. And yeah, that was the first time I shot with him. And he had such a just magnetic personality. He was super easy to be with, and his team was fantastic and very welcoming. And, you know, they just kind of let me hop in the car, and it all started there.
What was it like working with Beto O'Rourke as a person as well?
Oh, I mean, it was great. Even though I took a lot of photos of him, I would say I worked more closely with, his campaign manager, Jody Casey, who's also fabulous, Cynthia Cano, his kind of right-hand organizer, who also worked with him on the presidential campaign. I worked really closely with some of the team members, more so than Beto, but every interaction I had with Beto was nothing but super friendly and warm, and just really down-to-earth guy. So it was super enjoyable.
That's amazing, too. And about Beto as well, too, that how do you think he was different from the other Democrat candidates, along with all the presidential candidates, including the Republican side? How was he unique in your eyes?
Well, one thing that I really admired about Beto in the Senate run, which I didn't get to see firsthand as much on the presidential run, but I hope that it was consistent, is that and I hear that it was, he is such a good listener. And that's one thing that I really knew going into making the book, but really learned more about based on other people's stories, is he really had, I think, a special ability to really listen, and just less talking and more listening, I think, got him as far as he went, and I don't think he's done by any means, but I think that's a really powerful gift to really be able to hear people, and people that would listen to him or go see him really felt seen and heard and important, and every single person on any level that interacted with him felt that they were a very valuable part of his movement. And I think it's hard for some people to do that. So I think that really set him apart and helped him really kind of catch fire in Texas. And on the presidential run, I don't know that it was the time for him right now, but I think he'll have a following no matter what he does in the future for those reasons, if he stays true to that.
And is there a chance of him running on the next presidential campaign?
Well, he dropped out about a month ago.
Right.
In this one, I have no idea. I have no insider knowledge as to what 2024 looks like. Right now, he's helping on an effort. Well, he just tweeted and about an effort called 17 under 10. And so he has now turned his attention to flipping the Texas House. And 17 under 10 is a group that's really focused on voter registration in Texas. In 17 of the House races were lost in 2018 by under 10 points. And so all eyes are on, there's 27 seats to, I believe 27 seats up, but 17 of them are kind of, people feel like they're in play. So he has turned his attention to helping Texas accomplish that, which is so helpful. I think the 17 under 10 went from trying to raise $3,000, and then he tweeted about it and has been sharing about it all over, and they raised $50,000 last week. So he's a very valuable team player now in that effort.
That is amazing too. And we'll also talk about your new coloring book out. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with the wonderful author from Austin, Texas, author Casey Chapman Ross, the owner of Casey Chapman Ross Photography.com. Talked about her photography career and also her book she just put out, True to Form, which shined a light on the Beto O'Rourke's campaign journey from a well-liked but not well-known congressman from El Paso to a national political figure, and a lot of aspirations about that. And we also get into a coloring book she's also created called I Am an Activist. So just tell us about that and what made you decide to come out with a coloring book.
Let's see. I was at an event hosted by a group called Deeds Not Words that was founded by Wendy Davis. And at that event, a young man named Leo spoke. And I am not sure exactly Leo's age, but I would put him around 18 or 20, give or take. And he was so inspiring. He stood up in front of the crowd, which seemed like maybe one of his first speaking engagements, or he didn't seem like a pro speaker or anything, and he was very brave and got up and talked about his personal experiences, his speech that day moved me in a way that I thought, Leo did so great today, and I feel like by his speaking out, he probably helped motivate a lot of young people in that audience to speak out for what's important to them and to be true to themselves, and that any young person can find their community. It's out there, nobody has to struggle alone or feel like there aren't other people out there like them, no matter what their struggle might be. And so I just thought, I need to do something to help inspire young people to create community, to be civically engaged, to reach out to groups that are doing things that are important to them, and kind of teach a little bit of civics. And I thought that I had taken some pictures at some rallies around the Capitol. I just have for years. And so I thought, I can take from my library of images and turn those into illustrations, and turn this into a coloring book. So I did.
That was amazing. I'm looking at this flyer right now, too, with I am brave, I speak up, I'm a future voter, I say what I feel. Now, you actually did those illustrations yourself, where you just, I'm just trying to put it into words, like, say, you drew it by yourself on a computer, or was it like, say, took a photography, and was there a special program that turned it into, like, a black and white coloring book type?
So I used an app on my phone to turn my photos into basically like a pencil illustration, and then I worked with a young activist at a fine arts academy here in Austin, Zoe. Oh, now that I'm on the spot, I can't think of her last name. It says it on the cover.
It's okay. You can say Zoe, and I'm sure it'll come later. Don't worry about it. It'll take time.
You'll edit this, right?
No. You're fine. You're good.
No, her name is Zoe Kearns, and she, her mom's a good friend of mine, and I knew she was a talented artist, so I teamed up with Zoe to have her take the illustrations of my photos and embellish them and decorate them into more exciting, colorful coloring page content. So we worked together to do that, and since we published this first edition, a second edition is coming where I had a designer take my photos and illustrate them so that it wasn't the app illustration, because I felt like the quality was lacking on that end of the illustration. So we have a new edition being printed here in just a couple days that will replace that one. I wanted to up the game on the quality of it before moving forward, and I'm super happy with it. Zoe was amazing. Her illustrations are the graphics. Mine were the photos or the people in them.
Wow, that is amazing. And you know what, too? I kind of like to have my own coloring book myself as well, too. The Mike Wagner Show coloring book. It's like, people can just have it just for fun. I can imagine that.
Yeah, go for it.
There you go. Or, coloring book of your family, coloring book of something else. It's like, make coloring books a comeback. I gotta say that. So
I hear they're coming back. The Today Show said coloring books are all the rage again. I don't know.
That's fantastic, and you're leading the way. That's wonderful. So we're looking forward to what you have, and you're also founding and executive member of the Austin Women's Invest to Elect. We'll talk about that in just a minute. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show, the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. Check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with author Casey Chapman Ross out of Austin, Texas. She's a graduate of the University of Texas. She's got a website, Casey Chapman Ross Photography.com, and we talked about her photography career, her book with Beto O'Rourke, and also the coloring book, I'm an Activist. And we'll talk about what's coming up in 2020 for her, but she's also a founding and executive member of the Austin Women Invest to Elect. And tell us all about that group.
Austin Women Invest to Elect was a group founded by Amy Cunningham and along with a dozen other women in Austin to help basically create a collective. It's a fundraising group. It's a collection of women. We have probably up to 300 members now or so. Mm-hmm. It's a fundraising effort towards empowering and supporting progressive and pro-choice candidates throughout the nation, and we focus on Senate races that in key states.
Mm-hmm. That is something as well, too. And where can they find more information on Austin Women Invest to Elect?
Yeah, the website is txinvesttoelect.com. And, it's got all the information there. And we look forward to an exciting 2020.
That sounds great. And speaking of 2020, what are some of your upcoming plans in terms of books, photography, and everything else?
Yeah. So right now I'm working on publishing in between the first and second quarter of 2020 6 more coloring books.
Wow.
This one is kind of generally speaking about activism and civic engagement, and I'm looking to basically spin off a series of books that are issue-based or specific issue-based. So beginning in January with I am a women's rights activist, I am a gun control activist, I am a healthcare activist, and so on, racial equity, gender equity, lots of different issues coming in 2020. So I have 6 titles that I hope to get out within the first and second quarter, and hopefully more will follow immediately after, but I don't have an exact plan for that yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, that'd be great. We're looking forward to that as well, too. And what do you consider your most defining moment in your career?
Oh, goodness. Probably one of my most exciting assignments was the last trip Obama made to Austin, at least that I was a part of, was at Austin City Music Hall before they tore it down. It's no longer there, and it was towards the end of his presidency, and that was the first and only time that we worked a private event there at the music hall, and then I was a part of the motorcade to a private event at a home across town. And so being in the motorcade was just a completely unreal experience that, who knows the next time I'll ever be able to experience that again. So it was definitely a once in a lifetime adventure that night.
That is amazing. Makes me want to get into motorcade as well, too. And, as being transported makes me want to do that. That's one of my ambitions for 2020. So, and who do you consider your biggest influence in your career?
Definitely my parents. My parents have been active Democrats their whole lives. My mom was she was Ann Richards' executive assistant for 20 plus years. Ann Richards was a former governor of Texas. And my father worked for Texas Trial Lawyers Association, as well as in Dallas with the AFL-CIO and as a union iron worker. And so, our progressive roots run deep, and they were a huge inspiration to me throughout my childhood. Even though I didn't want to admit it at the time, I thought as a kid, I was like, oh, politics is so boring, and can we please talk about something else? But, I've come full circle, and I appreciate what they did and continue to do, and just want to do more of the same.
That'd be amazing, too. And looking forward to what you have in 2020. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Advice to anybody in general?
That photography or, like, say, politics or anything in general, too. It's like, what's the best advice you can give to anyone, especially with the youth today?
I think above all, life is short, and if something inspires and makes you happy, you should chase it down. And where there's a will, there's a way in terms of making it work for you. And I've somehow, managed to turn what I love to do into supporting my family. And I think it's because my heart is in the right place, and I'm true to myself, and I'm true and honest with the people around me. And I think there's no better way to build a business than, spreading kindness and being the best, customer service there is. And I'm friends with all of my clients, and I think they all know that I will go above and beyond for them, and thus ditto. So it's been a really rewarding experience building a business based on those values.
That's fantastic. You're doing a great job on that. Looking forward to having you on in 2020. Keep us up to date. And before we go here, tell us about your upcoming projects, your website, how the people contact you, and where can people purchase your books?
Sure. I I am working on getting the coloring book in stores now. I'm excited that we're looking at taking on a bunch of new stores in the new year. But right now, ccrpress.com. Let me double check that. Actually, you're gonna have to edit that out. I think it's CCR Press Austin is also my website. And sorry, I'm making your editing job difficult. Okay, scratch that. CCRP Austin. It's ccrpress.com. Has both my books as well as my photography work. It's also, both books are on Amazon. They're going into local bookstores and children's museums and school counselors' offices. And yeah, so Casey Chapman Ross photography.com or ccrpress.com will lead you to the right spot. But Amazon is a pretty huge help with that as well.
Sounds great. Author Casey Chapman Ross of CaseyChapmanRossPhotography.com. Thank you very much for your time. You've been fantastic. Looking forward to having you on again in 2020. And do us a favor, keep us up to date.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me and hearing what I have to say.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.